Hey everybody, let me know if you can hear me. I see a lot of friends in the chat already. Oh my goodness gracious. Hi everybody. Let's see. Jazzy Bell, hi, how are you? Chip, oh my gosh, Chip, you're here early. You must still be working. Ankita, Ashish, everybody's here. Okay, yay. Awesome, awesome. All right, friends. It's Friday. Happy to see everybody. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. Let me know. Let me know how your week was. Always like to see that. And thanks for being here today. It's Friday. It's Friday. And let's see here. I'm thinking of doing like an open panel today. So if anybody wants to join, let me know and I'll drop the link. Oh, Ankita, looking like an angel. You're so cute. You're so cute. Thank you. Thank you, my friends. All right, I'm using StreamYard today. I don't usually use StreamYard, but if we wanted to do panel style, this is probably like the best option. All right, I'm just trying to check to see. All right. Okay, just in case, I have the link and we are ready, you guys. We are totally ready. All right, I have all my stuff here. This is awesome. We're starting. We're gonna start. I wanna put up our blessings and protections. So I'm asking for divine guidance. I'm asking for love and light. I'm asking for protection of my energy and my space and all that is within. I'm asking for divine love to come through in our readings. And I'm asking that we block any people who are coming in with negative energy, bad intentions, low vibrations, all of that, right? We're calling in our spirit guides, we're calling in our guardian angels, we're calling in our higher selves to help channel the best messages for our greater good today. Let it be. All right. All right, so I've got my notebook here. I got my notebook. And all right, so we're gonna jump in because Ashish would like a reading. We're gonna go with a purple pen today because that's my favorite color. All right, of all my decks. We gotta put the phone on do not disturb because we're busy right now. We are busy. All right. So, hi, Jenna Perkins. Welcome in. All right. So, Ashish wants a reading. I have you, Ashish, and then Ankita. I have you as well. And then if anyone else would like a reading, let me know. I'll add you to the list. Okay. So I'm going to change the chat over here to live chat because I want to see what is happening. Put it over here. Look at all those purple hearts. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. Awesome. All right, so we're starting with Ashish today. Ashish, oh, I see your question already. Oh my gosh. Ashish is not playing today. Okay. What's the step that I can take toward my own well-being? That's a great question. I love that so much. And then for any new friends that are coming in or going to be hanging out, I'm just, please remember to hit the like button. And if the content resonates, consider subscribing. Okay, so I think for Ashish, we're going to use this deck right over here. I'm going to use this combo. What step can I take? Actually, I'm going to pop out your question. Since we're using StreamYard, we could do that. What step can I take toward my own well-being? And actually, I forgot, like, I don't actually need the notebook today because I can star the people that wanted readings. Okay, so I have Ankita and I have Ashish. Okay, so let's see. And if there's anyone else that's watching that would like a reading, just let me know and I will add you on. If you would like to come up on the screen and say hello, let me know. We can do that too. All right. I'm going to shuffle the deck. This is a message for Ashish. A step that I can take toward my own well-being. I like that question. Okay, sorry if that's loud. All right, let's see. Quiet today. It's quiet today. Okay. A step that I can take toward my own well-being. Right there. Oh. I mean, okay. The first card that's coming up is right here. 8 of Swords. Okay. So traditionally, this is the card of maybe being trapped by the limitations of your own mind, right? Like the whole idea that we are limiting ourselves with our own beliefs or with the way that we have been programmed, you know, as kids, and then later on going into adulthood, like, oh, I can't do this. I would like to do this, but I can't do that. And so what I would say is a step towards your own well-being would be to try to find ways to get out of your own way and be a little bit more creative with finding solutions. You see on this card here, it looks like a maze, right? And it could be long, it could be arduous, there could be some dead ends in there, but there's always a way out. And I feel like here, Spirit is kind of giving you the challenge of taking that step, right? Taking that step outside of the comfort zone. Because a lot of times with that tree, I feel like tree can be connected to your ancestors, to your roots, to your home, to your family, right? And so there are times where we want to, like, it's not that we're not grateful for all of the things that our family and our close friends, the people in our inner circle have done for us. It's not that. It's just sometimes we want to explore on our own and make our own choices, make our own decisions, and learn by our own mistakes, right? People could tell you until you're blue in the face, but sometimes the best teacher is going to be life's experiences, and you can't have those if you're constantly staying close to the protection of home. So that's what I'm seeing with that card right there. And then we have two other cards coming out here. Oh, you got double eight energy. We have the Eight of Cups. This is, again, this card right here is like repeating the message here. It's time to walk away from something. It's time to shift away from something. And to me, because you have the cups and the swords, it's likely going to be something that could feel emotionally difficult to do. It could feel emotionally difficult to do, but it's time. It's time to do it. It's time to do the hard thing. It's time to kind of explore past the usual, the way that everything is. And the other card that came out with that is the King of Cups, right? King of Cups is like, first, king energy. There's leadership there. Sharbetty, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. So King of Cups is, there's leadership energy there, but also like there's this like beautiful balance of emotions and logic. Like at this point, this is the card, and this may be something that you need to kind of channel a little bit more to help you out, right? This energy, they've been through different things, they've had different experiences, they've learned from those things, and they have what I like to call a little bit of EQ, right? Emotional intelligence, only because life has dealt them different situations, different scenarios, and you learn over time. You learn by trial and error. And you can see the golden goblet there. Like, it's just, I feel like this is a beautiful message for you, to encourage you to get outside of your comfort zone, get outside of the confines of your mind, and do something. Do the hard thing. Do the hard thing, right? Because you're gonna grow from that experience. So that is the message for you, and I'm gonna pull a card from the Oracle deck to go with it. Purple heart. Oh, thank you. Sharbadi, it's good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you. Let me know if you want me to add you to the list. I'm happy to read for you. Let's pull a message. Ashish got an Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups. That's double eight energy. When you think about the number eight, actually I have it right over here. So let me take a quick peek. Number eight. That's about mastery, action, accomplishment, stability, protection, sturdiness, and safety. And you could be juggling all those things in your mind at the same time, which makes it so hard, right? Like, let's see. Whoop, there it is right there. Oh, okay. So you got two cards. You have this beautiful card here, Enlightenment. And I feel like this is so beautiful with this Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups, right? Because the Eight of Swords is kind of asking you to get out of your own way, okay? It's asking you to get out of your own way. And then the Eight of Cups is asking you to stop looking back and start looking forward. And there could be something really beautiful for you there, something that you can learn and take away to help your character development in life, right? So you have that card. You also got the relaxation card in reverse. And I don't usually read reversals in this deck, but that's what I'm getting. So I'm going to go with it. Relaxation in reverse. So I'm going to go to the book right here and see what it says. Because if it's in reverse, that means this is something that you're not currently doing, but you need to do. Yep. When you get this card, relax. All is well. There's no need to strive or push to get ahead. Beneath the surface of life, everything is gently propelling you in the right direction. So, there's a little bit there about like trusting too, like trusting the messages that you're getting from your own spirit team about what you should be doing, right? And this says you can lay down your burdens and simply unwind, slow down, and allow calmness to fill you. Again, I feel like it's speaking to this Eight of Swords. It's like drop all of that energy, drop all of those worries, those fears, those anxieties, all of the I can't, drop all of that. Like give that part of you a rest and relax and sit with who you are right now and what you want to do in the future. That's kind of like what I'm getting for you, Ashish. Let me know if that makes sense for you. Let me know. You got a reversal card. Relaxation in reverse. Okay, perfect. All right, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you, okay? And thanks for always coming back. I appreciate you. All right, my people. So I have open panel today. That's why I'm on StreamYard. So if anybody wanted to come up and say hello, and, we could get grounded and updated, and then, can tell me what you're doing, what's been going on, how life is treating you, etc., etc. Oh, I love seeing all of the emojis. Ashish rocking the emojis. That's so cool. Ooh, that card doesn't go there. Okay. Hey, Fatima, how are you? Welcome in. All right, so that message was for Ashish, and I'm gonna put this deck right there. Right over here. Fatima, how's everything going over there? How's the weather by you? Is the air quality improved? How are the fires? I'm thinking about that. All right, that goes. I didn't put it. Okay. Beautiful. All right, so that deck, I'm gonna put that away right there. This goes over here. And we're gonna read for Ankita next. So let me move that one right there. Will I ever will I ever meet Elizabeth in my life? Ooh, that could be interesting. What deck should we use for that? Let's use, hold on, I gotta find the right deck for you, my friend. What is this? That's the Love Oracle, Love and Love. Let's use the Mermaid. Let's use the Mermaid. I'm gonna use a Mermaid. I'm gonna use a Mermaid. And then what else? You wanted a Oracle deck as a message or blessing. Okay, no problem. So we're gonna use the spirit animal for you. All right. So, okay, so Fatima says, I'm good. Everything is clear and cool in Toronto. The fires are still raging up north and the west. Okay. Oh my goodness. The fires are so difficult. They're difficult to manage, difficult to control. Oh my God. The card is like sticking out immediately. You see it right there? Let's see. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. To me, this is like maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe yes, maybe no, my friend. Could be not. Oh, this is on top chat. Why? I keep changing it to live chat. All right, there. Ankita. All right. I got a maybe yes and a maybe no. Ooh. Ankita, you got the Eight of Cups, and you also have that card of walking away from something. Walking away from something. There's something you have to walk away from in order to change your destiny. Something you need to walk away from in order to change your destiny. So let's pull out an oracle card. We're going to use spirit animal wisdom. All right, my beautiful peeps. All right, and then for anybody else that's coming in, walk away from India to your country. That would be a long walk. You might have to do like the mermaid, get in the water and swim to me. That's what you might have to do. Swim to me. That reminds me of a Korean drama that I watched that I absolutely love. I forgot what it was called. Something about like Blue Lagoon or something like that. Anyways, in the drama, the mermaid falls in love with someone. And so he's just there in her area, like on vacation, and then he leaves. And so she goes into the water and she swims. She swims for months before she finally gets to where he's at. And it's such an adorable, such a good drama. It's not a long one. I don't know if you like dramas, but if you like dramas, it's 16 episodes and it was super cool. All right. Let's see. You have the message of the hare. Do you know what the hare is? It kind of looks like a rabbit, but I feel like a hare has longer ears. You see that? And the key word is strength. The key word is strength. It says take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. So you've gotten a card, Ankita, of like things changing, right? You have the Wheel of Fortune. Change could be good, it could be bad, it could be crazy, it could be the way that you handle the change or how you handle the situation, right? And then you also had the Eight of Cups, right, which is calling for you to conscientiously, right, walk away from something that isn't helping you out. And then you got the Strength card, time to make clear decisions. So let me see what it says in the booklet for that card. Hair. Do you have that animal in India, the hare? 41. I don't know if I've ever seen a hare before in my life. We have a lot of wild rabbits. Okay, absolutely. The best change calling already walked from past. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to show you the card, right? We have hare. This is connected to the element of earth. And this says you are you are much stronger than you realize. And the hare comes to you as an animal totem to help you believe how strong you are. He wishes to bring awareness to you. You are mentally, physically, and emotionally stronger than you think. You are well developed and you have all that you need within you. Sometimes we just need to be reminded of that. Okay. So This is recommending some crystal companions. So I'm going to tell you what the crystals are, okay? So the crystals are petrified wood, scolecite, and flint. Now, I don't have flint, but I do have scolecite. This, my pendulum is scolecite, so it kind of looks like that. Hopefully that'll be a little clear. Put it right in front of me. Put it like this. See? So that's scolecite. It's really pretty. And the other one, petrified wood. I have a couple of pieces of petrified wood. I'm going to show you. This is petrified right here. Look how pretty. And petrified wood comes in like so many different like colors, but look at this one. This is what you call a palm stone, because you know when you could take it and just put it in your palm and just hold on to it when you're feeling like you need to be grounded. This happens when you feel like you're like in your head a lot and you're thinking or worrying or obsessing about things and you want to like come back into your body. You could use a stone like this, like petrified wood, to help ground you in place. Okay, so that is your message, friend. Hopefully that helps you. Let me know. Let me know if that was helpful. All right. So I am going to remove that and that because I read for both of my lovies. Hide current comment. Okay, so I read for Ankita and for Ashish. If there's anybody else that wanted a reading, just let me know. I'm happy to do that. I have all my beautiful decks here. And I'll put this one away. This one's back here. I gotta put the cards away. I will surely meet you. I believe that. I've always wanted to go to India. Maybe I might come to you one day. You never know. You never know. All right. There's that. I can put this one away. All right, my beautiful peeps. Let me know. Today I went on a little bit early because I finished everything that I needed to do, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna start the stream at 5. So I decided to do that. I had everything kind of like set up and ready to go, so that was good. That was good. Put my stones away. I always keep my crystals nearby because you never know. Hi, Trista. How are you? It feels hot. Why is that? I feel like as soon as I start doing readings, it starts to feel hot. Okay. That's the fan. Have the fan going. Okay. So I just finished my readings for Ashish and for Ankita. And if there's anybody else in the chat that was hoping for a reading, just let me know. It's funny because usually like we have like this super long line and then I can't get to everybody. And today we have plenty of time and space. Also, we're doing open panel today. So if there's anybody that wants to come up and say hello on the screen, let me know and I'll drop the link into the chat. Star Traveler Muse, hi, welcome in. Okay, so if I made the right decision in regards to a job, I felt it wasn't aligned with me, but it may have helped me out of a situation that I'm in. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to read for you. It's about a job. It's about a job. So we're going to use this here. The most reliable deck. Let me get all the cards. You know, I have this little like box that I carry all the decks in when I'm going to be reading. And then like it's so full, it's overflowing. We're going to use the RWS today. Beautiful Fatima. Fatima, where's John been? I haven't seen John in forever. John must be working hard. All right, so Star Traveler Muse. I'm going to use the RWS, and in this particular deck, I have reversals shuffled in, so we'll see what comes through. I also have an Oracle deck. So your question is, you are wondering if you made the right decision. You feel like it wasn't aligned, but it helped you out of a situation that you're in. Did they make the right decision? John is working. Summer and fall are very, I could just imagine. Yeah, it's working hard. Okay. Much love and protection for John. Okay. Okay. Did you make the right decision? I'm going to tell you what I got, and you can kind of let that be the premise and decide for yourself if you feel like it was the right choice for you. Okay. The first card is the World in reverse. So the situation that you were in was one that really wasn't letting you move forward. You weren't feeling like you could move on to the next level. Maybe you weren't learning what you hoped you could learn. Maybe you weren't getting that next, step or the promotion, or maybe you felt like you weren't jiving with the work, but something was holding you in place. There is what I have. And then kind of along the same idea, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a curious mind, right? They're a thinker, they're a learner, they want to explore, they want to do things, they always want to be like challenging their mind. And I feel like with this card in reverse, you weren't able to do that. You were not able to do that. So the final card, and it's a card that I connect to work, actually. It's the Eight of Pentacles, and this one came out upright, right? These things are shifting you into a new direction, one where you're focusing on something that you're passionate about, that you enjoy doing, that you feel helps you focus and concentrate. And maybe it doesn't pay off right now, right away, but it can in the future, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting with those cards. And I'm gonna pull an oracle. Hi Tim, how are you, friend? I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? All right, so an oracle card. Look what came up. Like, you don't make this up, right? You have the card of fulfillment. I'm going to put it in front of, see if it focuses there. Fulfillment, right? This is what you're hoping to move towards. See how he's kind of sitting on the edge? You know what that is at the bottom. That's a money bag. That is a money bag. And he's just kind of sitting there by the edge with his money bag, and he's looking at that ship on the water. And right above is like, there's a sword there. there's a sword. And this is, what is this? Yeah, this to me speaks to that desire that you have to do something bigger and better than what you're currently doing. Fulfillment. Let me know if this is lining up with what you were thinking or what you're experiencing in your situation. Tim says, I'm doing okay. Hope you are as well. I am under the circumstances. Yes, because life has been lifing and has thrown lots of curveballs. And just when I think everything is okay, things happen. I've been offline for quite some time. I've been doing, yeah, but getting through it. That's amazing. I'm glad. Sometimes you got to take that break, right? Sometimes you got to take that break. I'm glad that you're getting through it. Hey, Maria, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah. All right, so this reading was for Star Traveler Muse. Let me know if you're still in the chat and if this lines up. I don't want to keep pulling cards if you're not here. Oh, there you are. Okay. Yes, but it was a job I missed out on, a retail one. I'm looking for something that will be better. Okay. You missed out on a job. Okay. You missed out. Hold on one second. Maria, I'm going to come right back to you, okay? Let me start your comment and I'll come back to that. Okay. So it was a job that I missed out on, looking for something that will be better. If you missed out on that opportunity, then I feel like there's a reason why everything happens. If you missed out, then I feel like that wasn't the job for you. That wasn't the job for you. Are you still applying for other positions? You said looking for something that will be better. Something that will be better. The Eight of Pentacles, this was that card that came out for you. That could also speak to being patient, right? Like patiently and diligently working towards your career goals, right? And maybe holding out for that job that is going to bring you the fulfillment that you are seeking. But pentacles are very slow moving. Opportunities don't come up as often, and especially right now, like this is just a tough time right now for work and for those kind of opportunities. So you wanted to know, your original question was, did I do the right thing, or did I because you missed out on the opportunity. But if you already missed out on the opportunity, then there's no sense looking back on it, right? There are not any jobs in my town that I want to do. Also looking online, but I don't want to take a job. Okay, wait, I don't want to take a job I don't like, but I may have to. Yeah, because sometimes we have to make tough choices, right? Like sometimes we may not like it, but sometimes, we don't have a choice. We have bills to pay, or we have obligations, family matters, bills, or what have you. So sometimes we have to make tough choices. So maybe instead, Star Traveler Muse, instead of your question, because your question is kind of looking back on the situation. So instead, maybe you could ask, like, are there new opportunities that are on the horizon for you, right? And I'll pull a card for you just to see what comes up. We have the Sun in reverse. We have the Sun in reverse. So that to me feels like a no, not right now. Because the Sun is like one of the most positive cards in the deck. The fact that it's reversed, it's not right now. And part of this kind of makes me think that you may have to do some work yourself in order to like align on what it is that you want to do and what you're willing to negotiate on versus what you can, like, what's make or break in your situation. I feel like there's some work on you. There's a lot of cards in reverse. So I think that there's some work for you to do, like to think about in terms of your current situation and how you want to move forward, because right now you'll end up staying stuck if you perhaps don't find a way to kind of open up to other opportunities. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of cards in reverse for you. We have the Ten of Wands. It's a hard road for sure. It's a difficult road that you're on, and it feels very heavy. And and maybe you feel like this is something you could do. Maybe you feel like you wish you could get some help. But this this is a difficult card. This is a 10, which is close to an end, right? And then what does that mean? That there's going to be a new beginning. But in order for that new beginning, you have to find a way to kind of turn some of these things around. Not a surprise. Feeling lost and confused. Have to take my power back. Karma and spiritual lesson too. Yes. Yes. If anything, this to me feels like an invitation to kind of sit down and have like a long, hard look at your situation and kind of create two columns. Like, what is it? What are the needs? And then what are the wants? What can you, like, what are the things that you're not willing to negotiate on? And what are the things that you could possibly, I would like it to be like this, but in a push in that situation like that where you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, I might be willing to change up how I think. But only you know that. Only you know what are your non-negotiables and what you're willing to flex on. But we do need some flexibility because right now there's too much restriction that's holding you in place. That's what I'm getting for you. That is what I'm getting for you. I'm going to pause on the reading right there. And I wish you all the best, Star Traveler Muse. This for me feels like you have some homework. You have some homework to do. And you have some homework to do. So you might want to sit with that first before, like, deciding on the next steps. Aerate. Too much restriction. Sorry for the heaviness. Oh, it's not heavy. Like, I think there's not one person in this chat room or here that has never been through that situation. There's a lot. Sometimes we have to go back to the drawing board, and nobody wants to do that. Like, let's be honest, nobody wants to do that, but sometimes we have to. And I feel like in this situation, you have to go back to the drawing board and, really think about what it is that you see for yourself moving forward. Hi, Debs. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, so let me see here. I want to go back because there was a lot of chat here with Maria. I'm going to, from a toxic 9-year relationship, I really want to let go of my ex. I'm wondering, can you get message for me how to heal? Okay, and I'm going to go back over here. I have been having to do the same. Yes. And everybody, yeah, like everybody has that moment, right? Where you just have to like go back to the drawing board and accept like, okay, maybe this plan that I had for myself or this visualization, or sometimes, it's like you idealize something in your mind and then you realize, okay, that's not feasible or that's not going to work for me. So sometimes, you have to kind of go back and just, and sit with things and see what can you let go of, right? Sometimes I said this earlier for somebody, sometimes we put our own restrictions on ourselves, right? So just sit and think about what you could kind of let go of and then go from there. All right. I just rescued a black kitten from my almost daughter's restaurant. Oh, I want to see that. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I love that. That makes sense. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And thank you for stopping in. Thanks for letting me read for you. Yes, my darling, tell me. Tell me what is happening. Could you check a message? Check a message for me. Yes, I can do that for sure. Okay. I went to get my windshield replaced and came back with a rescue kitten. I mean, that's life. Life had other plans for you. Life had other plans. All right. So I'm going to use this deck right here. This is the Modern Love. Look how pretty. It's a beautiful deck, and it's specific for love questions. So let's give this a try. Philippe made me feel low self-esteem. Yes. Yeah, you got to stay away from that guy. Yes. And he, with my friend, oh my God, see? He is what I would call a POS. Tim, I'm going to tell you what. This resonates. Tim says, I'm 62 and I'm having to reinvent myself. And that's hard. That's hard because like this generation today, like they're just living on a whole other wavelength. And it's so hard, for us to be able to stay relevant, All right. Well, he's not a good person, Maria. I mean, just based on that. 34, 33, soon 34 years old. Okay. No kids, no family. Yeah. You want to have your own. Have you considered doing this by yourself, Maria? Like, is this something that you want so badly that you would be willing to do completely by yourself? It's not easy. I'm sure you know this. It's not easy, but it is possible. I know a lot of people that have done this before, right? Yes, no, I understand that, but like, if that's not possible, see, for women, it's difficult, right? Because we have a biological clock, okay? So when we are no in vitro or that stuff. Okay, so then in that case, like, if it's difficult because you can't, like, this person, whoever this one person, yes, adopt. That's a wonderful idea. That's a wonderful idea because this person is not a good person, but you're suggesting bringing life into the world with this person that will now be a partner for life, right? And you do not want to be paired up like that. And then, like, is that what you want for your children, right? To put them in a situation where they have someone who didn't want to make the commitment to you. Are they really gonna make the commitment to future kids, you know? So the first card that flew out, Two of Swords, you could see what the couple is doing. You're on one wavelength, he's on another wavelength, right? It's like you both want different things. And I get what you're saying. I'm traditional. I want, but what I hear is I want, I want, I want, I want. But that's not what's best right now. This is that this situation is not conducive, right, to raising a family. No, I understand that you don't live together, but if this is a person that wants to fool around with your friend, you don't want to be living with them. So then what is your question today, Maria? Is your question like, is there someone on the horizon for you? Aw, kittens are so cute. How can I heal? How can I heal? That is a good question. Okay. How can I heal? Maria, do you consider yourself like a spiritual person? You won't be, okay, I see your question. When will I meet a new person? You won't be able to meet a new person until you let go of the old person. Very spiritual. Okay. This is something that you have to pray about. Okay. This is something that you have to pray about. Look what came out. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and I feel like this is what you want more than anything. You want that stability. You want to have that, like, family that you could call your own, but sometimes life brings you family in a completely different way. You're Christian and you trust God. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, that's exactly what spirituality is, right? Like, so in your situation, this is something like you can be working with. Like, if that's what you believe, if you're a Christian, right, and you trust God, but you're asking, like, when is somebody else going to come into the picture? To me, I feel like I need another deck. So hold on and I'll be right back because I need a different deck. So I'm going to get this one right here. This is my Mother Mary, okay? This is my Mother Mary Oracle. Yes, all comes, it's like all the right things, all comes in due time. We have to be patient. We have to have faith. We have to believe. We have to let go of people that are not helping us, right? But I'm also hearing like you want to be a parent and you want to do all these things, but if that's not what is right now in your current situation, that might not be in the cards for you at this moment. So I'm gonna pull a card from this deck right here, the Mother Mary. And then for you, since you said that you're spiritual, I'm going to pull a card from here. This is the good word, okay? So we're going to pull a little bit of scripture here for you because I feel like you need this. All right. You know, and Mother Mary is a perfect energy to work with in this situation. She's the ultimate mother. She's the ultimate symbol of love and the ultimate symbol of sacrifice, right? So she's perfect. That's why I'm saying, like, you this is something that you would just, you know, you want to pray on a regular basis. Mother Mary, help me. You know, if you prefer not to work with Mother Mary, maybe you work with Angel, you know, then ask Archangel Michael, please come help me cut. Like, Archangel has like the sword of truth. Help me cut those cords that I have to the past so that I could move forward to the future. If you prefer Archangel Raphael, you can ask Archangel Raphael, help me heal. Help me heal my broken heart so that I could move forward in my life. Maybe instead you want to work with a saint. You know, there's so many things that you can do, I feel. So here, first we're gonna pull a card from this deck right here. And let's see. Okay, so this is a deck of scripture. This is not a deck that I often use on the channel, but I pull from this deck. I pull from this deck for myself, but I'm gonna show you. Let's see. So this message is for Maria. Maria. What's the message that Maria most needs to hear at this time? You cannot make this up. Okay, Maria, this is the card right here. I think it's going to be reversed, so I have to read it to you, okay? For I know the plans that I have for you, said the Lord. There are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. To me, this is saying you have to trust in God. If you're a Christian and you believe in God, then you have to trust in God. This is what it's saying. I know this is directly let's see, Jeremiah 29:11, okay? Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Okay, a future and a hope. So we're going to put that scripture right there. That's Jeremiah 29:11. And we're going to pull a card from the Mary deck. We're going to pull a card from the Mother Mary deck right here. Gather. You have the message of gather. Hi, Bill. Welcome in. Good to see you. Gather. Maria, to me, that gather card, perhaps it would benefit you to join a women's circle, a women's prayer group, If you're affiliated with a church, because you said that you're Christian, you believe in God. If you're affiliated with a church, check with the pastor or the priest, however it's set up in your place, and see if there's a women's group that you could connect and work with, because I feel like there's a lot of power and healing when you surround yourself with other women. I don't regularly go to church. Maybe this is an invitation for you to do that. I'm in Norway. Well, that's okay, because they have churches everywhere. They have churches everywhere. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with. I'm gonna put over here. This was let's see. This was Jeremiah 29:11. Look that up. Okay. And every time you're feeling like you're feeling down or low, or you're having a moment of weakness, because we're all human. This happens to all of us, right? Every time you're having a moment of weakness, remind yourself of that, Okay. Put it on your phone, put it on your screensaver. Okay. That's my message for you, my friend. And I wish you all the best. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea right here. Counseling is good. Yoga, Reiki, girlfriends. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you could do to find yourself again. A spiritual Christian. Yeah. But sometimes, you need to surround yourself with other people that believe the same things as you. So that is what I have. This is such a beautiful, beautiful deck. I haven't used it in such a long time. So thank you, Maria, for reminding me that I have this gorgeous beauty. And remember yours here, okay? That was your card. Jeremiah 29:11. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Victor, hi. How are you? How are you? A Christian tarot. Yeah, there's a lot of people who, in this, you know what I say? There are people of all kinds. I like to be open and accepting of many different ideas, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all more similar than we think. So it's important to be open-minded. All right. You can be a Christian and go to a Buddhist sit, because you go there and you sit quiet and there's no questions asked. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. I feel like there's more than one way to tackle this situation, but you need to be surrounded by some kind of something, a sisterhood, another group, a young people's group. Like, there's other groups. You just have to find, something that resonates for you. Yeah. And meet other people. Absolutely. All right. Well, that was beautiful. Oh. All right. Sorry if I missed anybody else that came in while I was doing the reading. And yes, I have an open panel today. So if anybody wants to hop on, let me know. I'll drop the link. And if there's anybody that wants a reading, let me know. And I'm happy to do that for you too. And you know me, I have like my little, pick of decks here, but I get whatever deck I need to to meet you where you're at. Did I see Laura and all that chat? Oh, is Laura here? Oh, did I miss it? What the heck? Laura, are you here? Did I miss Laura? I don't know if she was here. I don't know. If she's here, hello. Hello, Laura, come back. All right. Beautiful peeps. It's pretty quiet today. You guys are pretty quiet. Where's my water? It's card night tonight also. Just saying. Later on, I'll be on Victor's channel. We'll do cards and meditation. Oh, look at Karen Suki. Hi, how are you, Karen? We are totally and completely caught up. So if there was anyone that wanted to do a reading, anyone that wanted to come up and say hello, let me know. Let me know. Put that away. When we use StreamYard, then I don't really have to do like the old school pen and pad, because in StreamYard you can like notate. You need to start laundry first. Okay, Bill, that's fine. Start your laundry and then let me know. And then come back. I love this. Tristalicious. Tristalicious. Black and white. Oh, so cute. Wait, is that the cat in the photo? Is that the cat in the photo, Debs? Because he's cute. Who told? That's hilarious. So delicious around here. Love it. Laundry, please explain. Well, Bill has to run laundry. He has to do the laundry. So he wants to get it going. It's a short. I just posted it. Okay, I'll watch it. All right, so I'm going to tell you, since nobody's coming up and no one's asking for a reading, I'm going to tell you what I did. I bought something. I'm kind of excited, but I haven't, like, I bought it and that's as far as I got. All right, you want to see? I bought a solo journaling RPG. Does anybody know what this is? Does anybody know what RPG is? Because I just heard about this. I've been hearing about it through like the fountain pen community. I saw a lady that is getting into that, and she's doing it like with her like fountain pens, and I was just like, okay. And then later on I found a video for a lady that was like, her channel was like a journaling channel, and she was like completely hooked on this whole thing. And I was like, well, I kind of like that idea. So I went over to my favorite place, Etsy, and I picked this one up. It's called Unlocking, a solo journaling RPG. I'm so excited. So it's a role-playing game. And so I printed it out. I have all the directions. And I haven't like gone through it, but I'm kind of excited because you get the setup and it tells you like how to play the game. And then you have some stuff that you have to fill out. And there's a key. And you play this with a deck of playing cards. And it gives you the definition, like what each card would mean in the game, and different clues based on like spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. I'm like, this is right up my alley. I get to mix journaling, fountain pens, cards all together in one game that I could do on my own without, without needing like a partner. I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. OMG. Yes. So I don't know how this happened, but in January, I discovered that there was this whole thing. I don't even know. I just randomly stumbled into this community. And then before you know it, it became a thing. And I have a collection now of pens and inks, and it makes journaling so much fun. And then like I take the I put the ink in the pen, and then I try to match the ink to the pen. So in here I have like a burgundy color wine, like a wine color. And then this one is like a purple sparkly ink in here. In this pen I have like a grayish ink, which oddly enough, for someone that loves color as much as I do, my favorite inks ended up being the gray inks. Okay. And then I have this cool little travel pen, and I put a green ink in here. You could set intentions for each of the inks too, as I'm thinking about this, because like that green ink, like if I wanted to connect that to Archangel Raphael, this one is so cool. And this one has sparkle, and it's like a teal color. Part of it is blue, part of it is green, and then it has a blue sparkle. You could kind of see it there. It looks a little iridescent. It's super cool. What else? In here, I have a ink that is like this sky blue color. And this is one of my most favorite pens. Look how gorgeous this pen is. And these are not expensive pens, I have to say, because a fountain pen can be $100, $200, $400, $500, or even more, right? These are just like, different pens that I have been playing around with, that I picked up from Amazon. And some of them were like meh, but some of them were good. This ink, oh my God, this ink is so cool. You could see that there's like green and blue, and it has like a red sheen, and it's just amazing. So much fun. So anyways, that has revolutionized how I journal. And then I was like, I got to find more ways to use all my pens. So now I found the role-playing game that I'm super excited. All right, so let me go back in the chat. I'll go back. I'll watch the short to understand the concept of laundry. Okay, so Debs uploaded a short because she just rescued a kitten. And then Bill came in and said he wanted to come up on the screen with me, but he needed to start his laundry first. So let me know if that makes sense. All right. Pretty princess and my little girl I could use for my avatar. Oh, yeah, you could. But you have a great avatar. I don't get it. And then over here, I'm rarely been able to play. Nobody ever wants to play. Exactly. I have so many games. Nobody ever wants to play. Nobody wants to play. Hi, Clint. How are you? Nobody ever wants to play. So I was like, you know what? I need a game that I could play by myself. So I found it. A solo journaling role-playing game. I'll do it. I'll do it. Duck races, boat races. Oh, I've seen those games. Those are fun too. The glass ink pens are so beautiful. I know. They are. I used the glass pen for Victor's birthday. When I did his birthday message, I used my glass pen. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, we can do our reading for you, Debs. We can do our reading. I'm gonna star your comment, and then let me see. It looks iridescent blue. Yeah. These are so much, the pens are so much fun. Staples pen bar. Well, I gotta write that down. What is that? Staples pen bar. Let me get that. Look, this pen is just like a clear pen. And then like, do you see that I added stickers to the pen? Do you see that? I got that idea from some girl online, and this pen has like pink ink. It's pretty cool. But she said what she does with those pens is she gets like nail decals, and then she puts them on. And I was like, well, I have nail decals. So I put some on my pen, which is a great way to make it your own, you know? Kind of like that. All right, so I got to write this down. Staples pen bar. We used to have a Staples here in my town, and it went out of business. Which is funny because that's where the Amazon like return drop box is. And so every time I do a return, it asks me, do you want to go to Staples? I'm like, no, I don't want to go. There is no Staples in my area. Why would I go there? I'm going to look that up, Trista. The pen bar. All right, I have one real ink pen, a real old one with wood and some nibs to attach. Yeah, because you could do like, there's so many kinds. There's so many kinds. Real ink pens. Yeah. I have some that are like super inexpensive. Here's one. I ran out of the color already, but this is a Pilot Kakuno. I got this on Amazon. You see it? It's like, the pen is like $15, and then the little cartridge inside was like $5. So the whole pen was $20. $20. And then you just refill it with ink for the rest of your life. So it's very possible, nerds. No. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, the lunch. All right. Oh, maybe that's where everybody's at. All right. Do you have a favorite that you like find tip? Yes. Yes. Yes, I do. Right now, let me share with you one of my most favorite pens that is very inexpensive. This pen right here. Okay. I love this pen so much. I have 3 versions of it. Okay. Yes, because I have a pen collection. Okay. See? Ta-da! So I love that pen so much that I have it in this color, I have it in this color, and I have it in this color. And this pen is pretty inexpensive. It works great. You could get it in a fine, and I think in an extra fine too. Okay, it's called, I'm gonna put it right over here. It's called the Asvine P, because it's a piston filler, P20. That's what it's called. That is one of my favorite cheapy weepy pens. For real. One of my favorites. I have a few that I love, but that's like one of my favorites, and it's super inexpensive. All right. Let me put all my pens away. I digress. It's supposed to be a tarot channel, not a fountain pen channel. All right. So let's see. I have a ton. They gather dust. I know. Yeah, nobody wants to play. I used to tell the kids, we should, for New Year's, we should like host a game night. And they were like, no, we're not doing that. Debs. It's a wall of pen and paper underneath, so you can try them before buying. Ooh, oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Where ladies' clothes would The Lord of the Rings board game. Oh, well, hands down, one of my most favorite board games ever, Clue. I love that game. I love that game. That game is so awesome. I have that. I have it twice because I even bought like a collector's edition at some point because I'm a fool. with nobody to play games with. I bought it. I bought it anyways because I was manifesting. One day somebody's going to come in and into the picture and they're going to love games. We have all the games. That's so funny. I accidentally put my medication refills on a credit card yesterday, so I have a little extra in my account. Ooh, maybe an ink pen. Yes. Yes. Because those Asvine pens, they're pretty decent. You know, for being a Chinese pen, they're pretty decent. But you can't go wrong with the Pilot Kakuno. You can't go wrong with that, and it's pretty cheap too. Well, hi, Jackie. How are you? You still love playing Clue. I know, that game was so much fun. I love that game. All right, let me see. So, Debs, we're going to do our reading for Debs. Debs, what was your question, friend? Tell me your question, and I'll read for you. All right. We took a little break so that I could, you're restarting your device? Okay, sounds good. Debs, let me know what your question is, and I think Bill's gonna come up and say, hey, I am doing an open panel, so if anybody wants to come up and say hi, give themselves a shout out, let us know what you're doing on your channel, what can we be, looking out for, anything at all, feel free, let me know and I'll drop the link. Okay. My family also had the PG version from Air Canada with a plane that floated down. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I love that. Okay, no questions, just general. 3 cards. Let's do it. All right, since it's general, let's have fun. Let's have fun with it. Let's do Clueless, because I love this deck. If we're doing Clueless, we're going to do Clueless with the Vessel. With the Vessel Oracle, because it's pink and it's pretty. Pink and pretty. Ooh, maybe you get a message about your cat. About your kitten. All right. There were Guy pens too in Canada. All right, so this is a message for New York Debs. Clueless is good. All right, here we go. Since we're talking about Clue, we could read from Clueless. This is a 3-card reading. This is a 3-card reading. What does Debs need to know? Ooh, the 2 cards came out right there. And I'm going to put it, you ready for the link? Okay, I'm going to give it to you in just a second. And let me pull out the card for Debs from, ooh, damn, it came right out by itself. Let's see what we got. Oh my. All right. So this is 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. All right. So this is the first card that came out for you. It's the Ace of Cups. It's a mochaccino. But you had all those mochachinos at the mall before. Remember when she tells him that? He said he doesn't want to stay for coffee because of the ulcer. All right, so you have Ace of Cups. I feel like that is so beautiful because especially now that you have this new kitten, like kittens ooze love. love, attention, affection, like all the different things. So I feel like this could be the beginning of something really, really beautiful for you. Okay. And then you also have the Seven of Pentacles, and seven, right? Like that's usually the Seven of Pentacles is usually like the card where you are trying to kind of maybe learn something new. Okay. Seven, patience, right? In this part of the movie, right, this is where the father is giving them both about, a hard time about what they're going to do with their futures, right? And he wants to pursue environmental law, and he's like, why? You want to have a miserable, frustrating life? And then she says, oh, Josh will have that no matter what he does. And so he tells her, I would like to see you have a sense of direction. And she's like, I have direction towards the mall. Okay, I did not mean to tell you the whole life story, but that's what happens in that card. So sense of direction. Could this kitty cat coming in have the power to shift things in your life, in your home, in your relationship, in your day-to-day? You know the card that came out right here, power. I think kittens are quite powerful. Hi, Kristine. I see you, and I'm going to flag you right there. Welcome in. Yes, you can have a reading, and I'll come back to you in just a moment when I'm done with this one. And then Bill, I'm dropping it right there. So that is the message, power. And you know what? I'm going to read to you from the guidebook, which is not deep. Okay, this is not deep. This is meant to just give you like a key word and let you kind of, think about it. Think about it. Hi, Nela. Nelik. Hi, welcome in. All right, power. Remember the song, You Got the Power? That's what it says. You got the power. You can move mountains. You have the power for divine transformation. That's why you see all those snakes on that card right there. So you have a new beginning here with the Ace of Cups. You also have the card of power and of transformation, and then the card here, patience. So this is kind of letting you know something new is coming, and it's going to make you think about things in a different way, right? And it's going to make you maybe reflect. Sometimes when something new comes in, it also makes us like have to go back and reframe. Well, I thought this, but now my circumstances have changed and I have to think about things differently. So that is your message for you. There's a snake that was seen yesterday on the property. Yeah. But in this case, it's snake for transformation. Snake for transformation. Hi, how are you? Look how she says hi to Clem first and she doesn't say hi to me. What the heck? All right. Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I'm kind of recovering. Either I've been sick or I've had back-to-back migraines for the last 10 days.
Oh no.
I haven't really done anything on my programs for over a week, and so this is like the
first time.
Yeah.
Bill, I have
it's the way it is, though. You have
Yeah.
questions. What is your questions?
I have so many questions, but okay, before that, let me say, look, where did she go? Where did she go? She says, I did say hi to you first. I know you did say hi. I didn't see you the first time, but thank you for coming in. That's so fun. Yeah, she does.
So you have a lot of questions that you need to maybe have a little help with or whatnot. Yeah.
No, I just here's my question, Bill. Here's my question.
Yeah.
What made you decide to grow out a beard?
Oh, it was after I had that tooth pulled out, and it was kind of sensitive on that side, so I didn't shave. So I went like a week and a half without shaving, and then I thought, oh, I'm just gonna leave it. You know, my hair's gone gray, and it wasn't like it was in my late 30s where it was patchy white hair here and there, and that's when I stopped growing a beard. And now it's like almost all gray and white. So I officially look like an old salt old man, and so that's why I grew it.
I see. All right. Hi there. Yes, we are happy. Bill, you want to do a reading with me?
Yeah, I'll do a reading with you. I'm ready for that.
Okay, so we're getting a request. Okay, so Nela, we're gonna go ahead and do the reading for you. And I know that I had one other person that was waiting for a reading, and we can do that 1 second. I usually do supers first, so that is why we're going out of order here. Okay, so just wanted to let you know. So let me move this. Okay.
So it's a general reading.
Uh-huh.
All right.
General reading, and then and we can totally do that. So T minus 16 minutes. There's a countdown because there's a blast off, I think, today.
A blast off.
Yeah.
The Gen X effect. All right.
No, is there
somebody's
there's a rocket or a missile going up into space?
Oh, well, at least it's not a rocket that's going into somebody's backyard.
No, why would that be the case?
Well, it is the case over in Iran, ain't it?
Oh, my dear. Okay, Bill.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be such a downer.
Okay, Bill, here you are right here. I was looking for you and I couldn't find you. Okay, hold on. Here she is right here, Kristine. Kristine, I'm gonna star you right there. Kristine, I'll do yours after this one. Okay, so let me put this deck away. And then Bill, I'm still yakety, so if you're ready, you can go first.
All right, well, I'm just getting myself situated.
Me too. Oh my God, Bill, you'll never believe what I did.
What did you do?
I bought something. Bill.
What did you buy?
You want to guess? Bill?
An elephant? Oh, you bought that tarot deck, the Tarot of the Abyss.
Yes. So now we're matching. Okay.
Now we have one, but then I've just been using these two decks all the time because I haven't really ventured out to any of the decks that don't have words on them. And
well, I want to.
I will adventure eventually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's for your birthday. It's gonna be what, 2 years almost, a year and a half.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years exactly.
Yeah.
2 years.
All right. We're doing a
general reading for Nela.
Mm-hmm.
How did she pronounce her name?
Well, this is my first time meeting her.
Oh, okay.
Nela.
Okay.
Now I nicknamed her to Nela.
Nell Angelic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, okay. General reading.
Indigo snake. Oh. Nela, she says. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you and welcome in, Nela. Thanks for letting us read for you.
Okay.
Were you ready, Bill?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, you let me know.
All right. When I first card that popped out was this is a combo. This is a combo Oracle tarot deck. So it's more, so they dropped all the numbers off of them, and then they gave more oracle-y like values to all the meanings and so forth. And so we're looking at the first card that popped up is solitude. And is that you have a need for solitude to appear to some traditions right now. But then there's this a sense that you have a lot of your own limitations. You have to be on the watch out for the fact that you may be limiting your thoughts and limiting how you respond to certain situations. So you have all of your the things that have kept you bound in place, and so you need to imagine or to spend some time journaling about what it is that is holding you back in your life. Okay? Because you have this sense of you're not in balance right now. Not in balance. And so you have, though, on one hand, you've got this self-limitations and you're out of balance, but then there's also a sense that maybe to get through this, you need to go fall back on traditions, on your traditions, whether it be your religious traditions or whatever this means for you, and to spend time in solitude. And while you're spending that time in solitude, get out your little journal and start writing your dreams down, writing your feelings down, your emotions, and if you have any troubling emotions or anything like that, or maybe you probably have good emotional intelligence, so you're not like a man who doesn't know what the hell he's feeling. So you don't have to start out with your journal entry with what am I feeling, and then try to figure out what the hell you're feeling. I don't know, but that's just me. But that's kind of I don't know what your journal's entries would be like, but for whatever this is, in order to get past this, you need to fall back on tradition and spend time in the quiet reflecting on why you're out of balance and what is holding you back. And then if I take the bottom card here, there's a sense, the bottom card here is that of bondage. So being bound to your passions, the passions of your heart, the passions of your body. And so that may also be a reason for why there may be some out of balanceness at this particular time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I got here.
I think it does, because she said yes, true. She says true. Okay. She says I'm in big need for this. All right. So my message is slightly different, but it could be that it's speaking to a different aspect in your life. So the first card that I got for you is right here. It is empathy. Okay. And, I'm sure we all understand the term empathy, empathizing for other people. I think in this particular card, there's a big connection to animal energy. And listening for messages. For myself, I find that there's a lot of spiritual messages that come through for me when I'm out in nature, from the different animals, from birds, just from observing behavior. And so that could be an invitation, for you to reflect. So we have the card of empathy right here. And with that card, we have the Empress. And the Empress is a major arcana card, and it's connected to, it's the number 3, right? And so that's connected to growth. And also to creativity and to abundance and to manifesting new ideas, bringing things into creation. So there's a lot of that could come from that hermit energy that Bill was talking about. But with this card, with the Empress, I see a lot of productivity, a lot of creativity, a lot of opportunities for growth and for thinking about things in a completely different way. And this particular Empress is also outdoors. I think there's a message there, because the other card that also came up was the Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles being connected to Earth. You know, Earth energy is the slowest moving of all in the deck. And this Knight of Pentacles, I often think of him as being very like methodical and straightforward and having a plan and working towards it. And I kind of feel when I look at these cards, like you have the card of empathy, and it's like this invitation to, you know, to connect. When you're empathetic, it's like you set aside your own things, your own situation, in order to empathize with somebody else, right? So a big part of this message could be thinking bigger than just yourself, like looking at the bigger picture. You have the Empress and you have the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is kind of headed towards the future, So there's a little bit about like goals here. There's a little bit about direction, heading in the right direction, moving forward with things, not rushing, taking your time, but moving forward towards something. So that's a little bit of what I have coming through. Hopefully with what Bill shared and what I shared, that gives you a little bit of, you know, like a nugget that you could kind of find helpful in your situation. General readings are, I find, like challenging, because sometimes a very specific message come through, and other times it's exactly that, it's just general. You know, it could apply to work, it could apply to family, it could apply to romance, it could apply to like any number of things. So hopefully there's something here that makes sense for you. Let me know.
Well, if I could pull a page number out of here for her if she
Oh,
wants, but it would
yeah.
be a matter if she chooses a page between 4 and 104, because there's 104 pages in this little book. And don't be shy about, you know, not choosing, like, you know, choosing one. It's like in the middle someplace, whatever you feel that would strike out, you know, at you.
Okay, so let's wait to see if she responds. And then I just wanted to really quickly say hello, because we had some people that just dropped in. And Millie, I wanted to say hi. Thank you for coming in. Oh, and we had an angel number. So that's cool. Oh, look, Karen got excited when she saw the book. Okay, yes, didn't understand for the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, Knights are a card of action, right? They want you to do something. And because it's Pentacles, it's related to, it could be related to work, to home, to family, to health, to all the things like on this plane, right? In the earthly plane. So it could be related to a lot of different things, but it's a card that requires action. And this particular Knight is very slow but methodical. Like this is the kind of person that is very careful, cautious. They don't get distracted very easily. They stay on point when they're working towards accomplishing things, because they don't want to, you know, like fall behind on the goals or the things that they want to achieve. So if there is something like that you are working on, something that takes a long time, then that is what this Knight of Pentacles would be speaking about. You know, night energy is super awesome, but also like this particular Knight of Pentacles, it could be a little stubborn too sometimes, because the Knight of Pentacles could kind of be like a little set in their ways, like, oh, this is the way I always do it. I'm gonna do it like this because it's how I always do it, right? So you never know, like you never know. So it's hard without a specific situation to, to read. Again, it's a general question, so it's hard. Um, with tarot, I find that the more specific the question, the better the response is. And if you ever need help, like wording or phrasing a question, you could just let us know.
All right, she chose the page number 4.
Awesome. Okay.
Long were the days of pain I have spent within its walls, and long were the nights of aloneness. And who can depart from his pain and his aloneness with regret? Too many fragments of the spirit have I scattered in those streets, and too many are the children of my longing that walk naked among these hills. And I cannot withdraw from them without a burden and an ache. It is not a garment I cast off this day, but a skin that I tear with my own hands. Nor is it a thought I leave behind me, but a heart made sweet with hunger, with thirst. Yet I cannot tarry longer. The sea that calls all things unto her call me, and I must embark. For to stay though the hours burn in the night is to freeze and crystallize and be bound in a mold. And so that's kind of feels like all of our cards. You have to go forward. You have that Knight of Pentacles, and that little pinnacle to me reminds me of this little lamp here, and you're looking at this nugget of whatever that is, that seed that you hold in your hands, and you're spending time alone because you have this pain within you, and we all have pain within us. And then, but the secret is to not be bound by that pain, and instead to turn that pain into our own personal sovereignty, our own agency, because we have our to be actors in the world rather than reactors. And so when we are just reactors in the world, we get bound up by our own limitations, and we are out of whack. We're just out of whack. And so in this sense, you have long were the days of pain I spent with its walls, or being naked, tearing off your skin because you feel like there's something beneath your skin that needs to be shown, but you can't see it. And you think that that's what everybody sees is the pain that's on your skin, and you want to rip that skin, that pain off, and to show that you have this gem inside of you. And that's kind of what I got from reading that page. If you got something else, that's great too.
Absolutely. And Karen was remembering that was the exact page number that she asked for last time too.
Page 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I have a new dog.
Do you?
Yeah, it's he's been, this is getting in his 5th week here. Mm-hmm. He's really at first he was quiet, but now he's like super yappy and barking at the wind, and when the wind rattles the door, it's like, oh my God, there's a monster back there.
Mm-hmm. How funny. Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, right, but there is a monster in the house, though.
That's awesome. Oh, okay. Yuna put a number in, but before Yuna, so we can do that for you. But hold on, before we get to that, I want to go back over here because I wanted to make sure that we read for Kristine. Nela, let us know if you have any questions about your reading. Let's see. She says, you are sympathetic, by the way. Yes. Yes. We tend to try to be that way here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. So, Kristine, let us know what your question is, dear.
Yeah, she wants a general as well.
Oh, was it general? Okay. All right.
Did Kristine want a page number?
Kristine, if you wanted a page number, let us know.
I mean,
Hi,
I can
Brittany.
choose one for you, but I won't choose one between 1 and 10 because I'd
No,
like to.
and the page numbers are cool, but it's not for everyone. So then
You're right. It is not.
we
It's
can,
not for everyone. You're right.
yeah, so we can leave it up to them. Brittany, yes, we can add you to the list so we can read for you after. Oh, and she did ask for a page number, number 11.
11. Okay.
Mhm.
11. All
Okay.
right.
All right, 11, and then general,
Mm-hmm.
a general reading. Okay. I'm gonna come right over here.
All right.
I'm gonna use a
General
different deck.
reading. Let's look at page 11.
All right.
So before we do anything else, let's use a different deck. Trying to think here. I'm thinking too long.
That's okay.
We'll use this deck here.
I am gonna pull from the major arcana. I'm gonna pull a card from the major arcana deck, and then I'm gonna pull my cards around the majors. Okay. Okay. Nela says everything is clear. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Nela, and thank you for letting us read for you. Ooh. And by the way, we're doing open panel. So if there was someone that, if you wanted to come up on the screen for your reading, you can do that. Just let me know and I'll drop the link in the chat. All right. Bill.
Yes.
Were you ready?
No. You can go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And okay.
Mm-hmm.
My reading is complete. Hold on. I'm gonna put you on mute for a second. Okay. All right. So this reading is for you, Kristine. And I pulled from the Major Arcana deck, and I'm using a Frida Kahlo deck. So let me make this bigger so that you can see. We have the Moon card. Okay, so the Moon card is a card of reflection, a little bit of introspection. Maybe sometimes it's an invitation to look at your shadows, right? The things that everybody has this, like parts of ourselves that we don't like, that we don't want to see, that we don't want to recognize, that we wish we could just like hide from the world. So I'm going to read to you the message here. It says, do not ignore your inner voice. Trust your intuition to lead you true, and the darkness will fade. Because I feel like a big part of this is When things are in the dark, yes, of course, they look scary. But when you shine a light on it and it becomes available, then all of a sudden, it's not as scary as what it seemed, before. Okay. So I see your message here. Yeah. Yeah. So this is an invitation for you to kind of do that, right? Take a closer look, take a deeper look. So that is the main part of the message. So I pulled out some cards to go around that message for you. And I have a little bit of like conflicting energy. So we have the Two of Wands. First of all, there's a lot of fire energy here. You have the Two of Wands, okay? This is a card of kind of like you're at the beginning of something, right? You are possibly like inspired to do something new or different, right? To put new plans in place, something fresh. So I really like this energy here for you. It's the very beginning of something, and it's usually the time in the project or whatever it is that you're starting that feels the most exciting, that you could see the most potential, the most opportunity. I don't know, where you feel like fired up to do the thing, okay? But at the same time, on the flip side of that, we also have Eight of Wands. And so you have fire on both sides of this moon, and Eight of Wands is fast moving energy, okay? So it could be fast moving energy. It could also be an incoming message or things moving like at a much faster rate than what you're prepared to do. Because remember, your center card is the moon, and the moon is a card of like reflection and sitting with certain energies and kind of assessing different things. And you have that right in between the Two and the Eight of Wands. And I felt like with that Eight of Wands, it felt like a mismatch. Like the energy was a mismatch. So I pulled a third card, and yes, we got the Justice card. So this is calling for a rebalancing. So to me, it feels like perhaps you might be in a situation where you're being pulled and tied into two different directions, and you're having a difficult time figuring out which way to go. It's like, is it more important to do this thing or this other thing? But I'm more excited about this, and I'd rather do that, and that's not as exciting, and I don't want to do that. And then if I don't do this other thing, then I could miss out on the opportunity. So it feels like the energy is out of whack, and it's asking to be, kind of rebalanced. Like this, and this card came out underneath the moon. So again, like this brings us back to that energy of the moon, of coming back to what's important, coming back to what makes you feel centered and whole, and deciding what is most important at this moment in time. What feels fair to you, what feels equitable, what feels like this is in my power to do and this is not. So I'm going to pull up here. Okay, so let me go back actually. Hold on. I can definitely see that, as today I took a step back to look at myself for some reason, and I started a new job, and I've been thinking about going to a higher position. Okay, so then she says, I did hear my inner voice today saying you will need to be balanced, and the energy is definitely different today. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Perfect. Awesome. Izzy, hi. How are you? Is it still open panel? Yes. I'll drop it right here for you. Okay. I'll drop it in, and then I'm going to pass it over here. Bill, we're ready for you if you are ready.
Yeah. Am I muted?
No.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay. All right. So you chose the number 11. I went into my handy dandy crossword oracle, and I chose the number 22. And so we're looking at angel number 1122, and you're looking at new beginnings coupled with balance and harmony, a need for balance and harmony. But if we just take a look at the number 11, and Elizabeth selected the justice card, so you think of that there's a need for justice in and that's how I would look at it. I look at that 11 and thinking of the justice card, of needing justice. And then if we look at 22, now if we were looking at, let's say, if that was a tarot number where 0 is the Fool and 22 is the World, and so being bound between justice and having everything in the world, so you are at the beginning of something new, and you have a need for balance and harmony, and 11, 22 together equals 6, and this has to all be bound up together in love. And then we look at this sense of some of the words that popped out here is paper. And then in this other deck, creativity. And on in needing that you need to have some more creativity in your life, to spend time working with paper and writing your dreams down, writing your thoughts down, or if you do a doodle, if you're drawing, if you're sketching, just make sure that you do your art, or whatever that is, to do art, because that will be part of your creativity, is part of your healing in this moment. And as you work towards healing whatever it is, you need to release whatever it is you are experiencing, and release that out into the world so that you can experience freedom. So you can experience some new freedom. And so we have paper, and we have another word of pupil, of student, of being a student in this moment. To whatever you are new, you're doing something new. Don't close your mind off of whatever new experiences you are, because there's something to be learned from them. There's always something to be learned from our experiences, but oftentimes we close ourselves off because maybe we don't like the tone of somebody's voice. Maybe we don't like, or maybe the person is feels as though that they know it all, that they have all the facts, and they're not capable. And then so it makes it hard to even listen to another person when they have, like, say, an authoritarian point of view, and they already know everything because somebody told them everything. And I know for me, when people present that kind of a face to me, I just shut down, and it's very hard to listen to something like that, because I know in myself is that, well, I don't know everything. There's so, even like spiritually or whatnot, I don't know anything, and there's so much to learn. And so being a good student here. And let me go look at that page 11. It was a short page. In your aloneness, you have watched with our days, and in your wakefulness, you have listened to the weeping and the laughter of our sleep. Now, therefore, disclose us to ourselves, and tell us all that has been shown of that which is between birth and death. And he answered, people of Orphalese, of what can I speak save that which is even now moving within your souls? And so you are not at the beginning, and you're not at the end. You're someplace in between, but in that in-between state, there are always continuous beginnings and endings. It's just a continual basis of being created and recreated. And to make sure that whatever it is that is bothering you, that you are able to release it out of yourself so that you can experience freedom.
Oh, I love that so much. I think she does too. Yeah. She does too. She says she got goosebumps.
You got goosebumps. Well, I guess maybe taking almost 2 weeks off of card reading was good.
Yeah, sometimes we need to do that because sometimes we need to recharge our batteries
Yeah,
and just get grounded. I
you're
love
right.
that.
You're right.
Mhm. Yeah, so that was beautiful. Oh, she says thank you. She loves the messages. You're welcome, and thank you for letting us read for you. That was
Yeah, yeah.
super
Thank you very
cool.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So friends, in the chat, we have an open panel today. So if anybody wanted to come up and say, hey, let me know. I'll drop the link and you can come up and say hello.
Floating hearts,
I
goosebumps. Wow.
know. Yeah, that's
Well, that's
pretty
actually
cool.
quite an accomplishment, you know.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I experienced goosebumps this week, but it was because I had heat exhaustion.
Why? What happened?
Oh, well, it was like Monday, but on Sunday I forgot to take my diabetes medications, and then I was having these migraines, and then Monday was terrible day. It's just taking. I'm just now starting to recover from that one day of forgetting to take those meds, you know,
Where did we
and so
go?
forth.
Where did we
But who
go?
wants to know about my? I mean, I want to talk about that. This is something I swore that I would never talk about when I was young. To talk about my ailments, you know.
And you're doing it?
And I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah, talking about
Stop
my
it.
ailments. So, but yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
I think that we got everybody that was waiting for a reading. So if there was anybody that I missed, my apologies. Just let me know, and I'll add.
was there another reading in here?
That's what I'm asking. Yeah. If there was
Yeah,
anybody that was
I.
waiting, just let us
But there
know.
was somebody way up there who chose the number 33. Are they still here? Crossroads of Yuna
Oh,
of
Yuna,
Leska.
yes, yes, Yuna, are you still here? Yes. What? How come they were not there in the thing? I thought I starred everybody. Yuna, let me know if you're still here. Yeah, for sure. Okay, she is. All right. So she chose 33. That's the angel
33.
number. That's the angel
It
number.
is. It is
Yeah.
33.
Thank
So
you, friend.
on top of your page 33, did you want a general reading or do you have a specific question?
I think that when you were reading from the book, it resonated with her, and so she threw a number into the chat.
Oh, she just wants to hear from page 33. Okay, I can do
Hmm.
that.
Well, we could start with the reading, and then if it
Mm.
hits something, then maybe we can pull cards around it.
Okay, why don't we do that?
Okay, sounds
We'll
good.
just go with number 33, which, we're looking at what your creative expression compounded, that you need to be grounded in your own ability to express yourself, which may be about creativity, but it may also be just about how you express yourself in your relationships with, your family, with your friends, with your significant other or your coworkers. And that, because that's kind of where I went to first, that you could think about that, about are those some issues that you have to deal with. I know that for me it would be a constant thing to because there's a tendency to not express yourself, or to, because maybe somebody said, or let's say, what I say, I gave a ride to a guy and they said, oh yeah, tarot readers are all scam artists. Well, of course I immediately shut down, and I wouldn't listen to anything, and of course I wouldn't defend myself, and I just sort
Mm-hmm.
of, well, I mean, if I would have like been more proactive, I said, well, it's not really scam artisty. It's really more like all the cards really apply to the human person, because that's it's a psychological thing. But there
Well,
are,
some
yes.
people do read psychologically. Some people read from a spiritual lens, which is how I like to do it.
Mhm.
But there's people that are, scammy.
Scam
I
artists,
think
yeah.
it's up to you to find the right reader for you. And some
Mhm.
people just want to troll. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Anyway,
Yuna
so
said
let's go with,
that she would like to know more about her connection with Archangel Michael.
okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I have it. Okay. But let's go see what we can get from this page 33, and we'll
Okay.
just see if that applies to Archangel, not angle. I mean, be the arch, and then it's got an angle on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Archangel Michael. Okay. Page 33. When you are sorrowful, look again in your hearts, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at the board, remember that the other is asleep on your bed. Verily, you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you are empty are you standing still and balanced. When the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and his silver, needs must your joy or your sorrow rise and fall. So, yes, you can't experience joy without also experiencing sorrow. We are shifting between those two poles all the time. And so when I was just reading that, my brain said that I need to choose. Well, you chose page 33. I'm going to go into my crossword oracle and take out card number 33, if I can find it. And there it is. So then we're looking at the angel number 3333 to be on the lookout for that. So we are looking at 33, and these are the words on it, and the word that sort of that that kind of stuck out first was sofa. So what do you do on a sofa? So is this about your relationship to the archangel, and to spend time on a sofa, but maybe not be complicit in your relationship, to be a bit more active in your relationship? Just don't spend time sitting around on the sofa, metaphorically. Make your pleas, as in PLEA, to plead your case, to actually talk to the angel, talk to this angel, to talk to your angel, your guardian here, and ask these questions. And there's a couple other words that popped out. One was apple, and the other one was shipyard. And if you think of like what happens at a shipyard, and shipyard is where we build things, and we looked at that word number, initial thought of creativity, of building things, of a need to build things, that you have a need to express yourself in the world, to build your expressions, your creativity out into the world, into a tangible item, and making sure that you spend time doing that. And then we look at the word apple, and with that I immediately go to the Garden of Eden and the apples on the tree, and is this the apple of knowledge, of good and evil? and being able, and you eat this apple and you your eyes are opened and you see for the very first time what needs to be worked on in your life, what is good, what is evil. So if you would be an equivalent card would be like the moon card, and coming out of the moon, out of the moon pond is this this crab creature, this scorpion creature, or it's this this wild dog or this wolf, your wildness, your illusions, to be illuminated by chewing into that apple. So don't forget to ask what, being able to ask your guides, ask your angels questions that are of this kind of a magnitude, things that are important. You're not like praying to your angel and say, oh, can I get that parking spot over there, and then hoping that it magically, it's not down to that granular of a detail, but kind of in a sense of making sure that you keep this angel in the loop. Don't sit things out on the sofa. So does that make any sense? And so if we look at that page 33 again, and of your joy and your sorrow, you got light and truth, your delight, pain in your heart, joy in your heart. It's a treasure. And when you feel empty and you are standing still and balanced, that's when you know what it is, where it is that you are. That's when you know if you are joyful or you sorrowful, or you just like someplace in between. Or maybe your answer is, I don't know how I feel.
Well, she got the moon card today, so she said it makes sense.
She got the moon card? Okay.
Yeah. So I went and I grabbed this deck right here. So this is my pocket version of my hug deck, which is how I connect to Archangel Michael. And I thought that I could pull a card from here for you, Yuna. So let me get the deck and we'll give it a shuffle. And I was having a terrible glare, so I had to make a makeshift
screen there.
Yes. Wait, what the heck? It's because the sun is setting, so.
Yeah.
And this doesn't mean that this is the deck that you have to run out and get. I just find that like Archangel Michael's voice comes through very clearly in this particular deck. So I'll give it a shuffle and clear energy.
Is that me?
No, I'm ringing my bell.
I'm getting a feedback back here.
I'm ringing a bell, but I hear a lot of feedback on your end. So
I had muted myself for a second, and then the feedback started as soon as I
unmuted or muted.
Yeah, unmuted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have been hearing feedback, but I don't know if it was because of your headset or if the cable is hitting something on the table or what the situation.
Yeah, which means I really need to finish that project, and I picked up a shock mount for my microphone, but
okay,
yeah.
So I have a card for you, Yuna, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna share it with you. So let's see. I'm still like learning how to do all this. Okay, all right. So I got the 10 of stars for you, and this is like the 10 of wands. And the key word on this card is hoarding. And I know that sounds like a very profound word, but I'll share with you the message on the back of the card. So it says, the 10 of stars symbolizes the weight of your responsibilities in your life that could be wearing you down. Okay. Society often teaches that anything worthwhile is not easy and that suffering is noble. However, as burdens accumulate, so does resentment. If you continue this way, you may stray from your true self, and circumstances may arise to restore balance. So it's time to address the challenging task of decluttering your life and release what you no longer need to allow abundance to flow. Creation is infinite. Be courageous, ask for help. You don't have to do this alone. And to me, this is like definitely an invitation. Like when it says ask for help, I don't think they're saying ask for help from a fellow human being. You know, I think they're saying ask for spirit, like spirit's help. Something that I did that was helpful for me before I go to bed, I invite Archangel Michael to come into my space. I speak openly, and I ask Archangel Michael to come into my dreams and give me any messages that I might need. And most of the time I get a lot of symbols, but I remember there was a time that I was working with Archangel Michael, and I came back the first day and I was like, I'm sorry, like I woke up and I missed it, right? Like I woke up and the dream went away. So I didn't get the message. So can you come back again? So then the next day I got the dream, but partial. And then I came back a third time. I was like, Archangel Michael, I'm so sorry, but like, I don't get it. Like, I need you to be more clear with me. So then they came the third time, and the third night in the row, I got my message. So Archangel Michael doesn't give up. Like, you just need to let them know, you know, what it is that you need, and then, you know, and just kind of work with the energy as it relates. Now, I have heard of some people doing this to work with Archangel Michael. Get at night before bed, get a glass of water and speak your intention into the water. Okay. And then drink it. So speak your intention into the water, asking for that divine connection with Archangel Michael, and then you drink it. You drink your intention. And I have heard from other people that has been very, very helpful too. If you like working with crystals, celestite? Like it's like a icy blue, sky blue color. Is really beautiful, but it's also really good to connect with angelic energy. So those would be my suggestions for you. And hopefully that's helpful in some mystical cosmic way.
So Maria, I'm gonna go back on live tomorrow. That's when I'm gonna start back on, and so I will get to your question tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm feeling like I'm well enough that even if I do wake up with another migraine, that I will be able to handle things.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And Yuna, thank you for letting us know. Okay. My pleasure. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
And you know how I love this deck. So any opportunity that I have to use it, I get super excited.
Well, Maria, I mean, Elizabeth, I feel like you drew that card for me because you see, I need to like declutter my life and, clean my space. And I've been on this project for like a year now, and I still haven't gotten anywhere because I need to make space for my show and for how I want it to progress in my show in the 5th year of things. And then there was like all these other things that are just like, you want to completely avoid certain realities, like, because I had an issue that I'm, there was a bit of an invasion in my home, earlier this summer, with like little tiny creatures that come and crap on your stuff. And so I try, I went like 9 months without having any in my house, and then they came back in my house. I had to like spend. So it's to me, it's like the little critters to me, it's very, very distressing when there's signs of them in the house. And so I've been kind of a little bit just overly, it's been hard to do anything with that knowledge in my head. And so you try to put that out of your head, but you still got to like deal with the problem. And it's not like there hasn't ever been any cases of hantavirus in Oregon, and especially not in this climate. But everybody, I live in the rural area, and every one of my neighbors has a problem with those little creatures. And then the wealthier ones, they pay for the exterminator to come in and to make sure that that everything is cleaned up right. But that's when you're out here in the rural areas, where in the city you can, like, I don't know, you might spend like $50 every time they come, but out here it's like $300. It's like $500, because one, they have to come clear out from a city. They may have to drive 40 miles, 50 miles one way to get to your place, and if you're the only stop, well, they're going to charge you, they're going to charge you a lot of money. And so and then you have to think of, do you really want to have all those poisons around in your house? But when you see signs of those little buggers, you kind of think, well, I just want to get rid of that stuff, and whether it's spiritually right or not, but it's like, well, this is it's your house, and you have the right to have a clean house, and that's the way I look at it. But yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, friends, it is 7:30. I have about 30 minutes left to hang out. If there was anybody else that was waiting to maybe have a card drawn or get a message, feel free to let us know.
Yeah. Well, Karen, we I don't have cats, but I have, I've had cats before. And I've had to, get rid of all my rugs, mainly for a lot of with mom, and because they're tripping hazards. But there was like one rug that she didn't want to get rid of. But then when we got the little dog, he like pees a gallon a day. And I think, I can't have a rug in the house because it'll get soaked up full of pee really fast. And then, it's like, what are you, anyways, it's like, oh, that gives me a convenient excuse to get rid of the rug,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, those are some of the things that I've been dealing with. It's really, to me, it's rather demoralizing, the little critters, and you still haven't cleaned up where they've made their messes. Yeah, well, there's a bit of that, because I blocked those spaces off. Because what they did is they got in June, they got into one of my cupboards with pots and pans, and then all of my pots and pans and everything got like crapped on, and so so you just avoid those spots on your shelves. Yeah. Well, that's what my grandmother did when and then after she died, and two of her younger daughters went and cleaned her house, and they found the silverware drawer was just caked with mouse turds and so forth. But luckily, we don't have any rats here. There are no rats where we live. But
hey, Judith, it's good to see you. It's been a while. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love. Oh, that's so sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, Karen. Yes, exactly.
Well, Bill, then if no one else is waiting for a reading, should we do like maybe a message for the collective?
You know what? We can do that. And I had a deck that Sarah gave me, because she gave me this Star Wars affirmation deck, and it's divided by colors. And I'm gonna just ask
a little bit of color therapy.
People to choose a color. What would be the color? And so one of the colors is green.
Mm.
One of the colors is purple. Another
Mhm.
color is yellow, and another color is blue. And so if you just pick one of those colors, and then I will randomly select one of those cards from that color. But then, because Sarah has also gifted me this. This is the positive alien. I may be a tiny alien, but I believe you're out of this world amazing. Out of this world amazing.
Judith would like a reading. Do you have time for Judith?
I have time. I have time.
Okay, Judith,
For Judith?
Is your question?
Does Judith want one of these cards?
We can ask her, yeah.
If she wants to choose if you just have to choose a color.
Okay.
And the colors are blue, yellow, purple, and green.
Okay. So Judith, let us know what your question is, and then if you want to choose a color, let us know that as well.
Mm-hmm. And that will probably be the card for everybody else as well. And so she can choose the color, and she can choose what the affirmation is for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. It just keeps going into a commercial over here.
Late to the party. That's funny.
All right.
Yes, I added ads to the live because we were testing, and I was like, why not? We set it to moderate, and it seems to be working okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We will do. Does Judith want these cards? I can do one of these. She can select a card between one, I think it's 0 and 38 if she wants to select her own card.
Okay, so I guess first we're waiting for Judith to let us know what her question is, and then if you want to select a number or a color or both.
You want to select a color. I would prefer that somebody out there in the chat select the color, because then it's really about you guys and not about me loading. Having a color preference.
Okay, so that's a deck that you don't shuffle then and draw.
Well, the cards are really hard to shuffle. They're really thick. It's really hard to shuffle.
Okay, I'm gonna use
because you might like having just a little bit of, even though you don't know what the colors mean. Yeah, it's still rather random. So,
all right, I don't know.
It's whatever you think the color means.
Did she drop off? Is she still here? I don't know what her question is. I like to hear the question before I choose the deck, but
yeah.
Judith, are you still there, dear?
Oh, well, her question is financially for a job. Rent the rest of the year. Okay, so it's two parts. It's about her job and her residence.
So do you want to take part 1 of the question and then I'll take part 2?
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, what? All
right, so I want to change my deck. I'm going to change my deck.
Okay, all right. I think I'll use an oracle deck for that.
Come over here.
Okay, career and life. Okay, there we go.
All right. Which one are you doing? The financial job?
Yeah, I'm going to use this career and life deck.
Okay, then. And so then I'll do the one about the rental for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're probably interconnected.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting if we have any, messages that come through that are similar.
Yeah. So this is, I'm just going to call this an upright deck, even though there is the patterns on the back are universal, and I don't see any reason for doing reversals or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying up front that this is I'm running it as an upright deck. So what do I see about?
I think people are just happy, you know, to get the message.
Okay.
However, I think people trust us to use our intuition and, you know, do what makes sense for the person.
I sometimes say it out there for myself, because that way I don't, you know, because I would set the intention in advance, and then I don't go back and change my mind later, you know. So, upright deck. Career and life. What is happening financially and with your job? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna take it right here. 1. Interesting. Okay, all right. Okay, I got it. Now, it seems as though most of your financial hardship is it's short term for the time being. It's sort of a short term thing. It's, you know, it's something that you're going to get through. However, it's really going to feel like you're just locked in place, like it's not going to go anywhere at all. But you need to trust that there is forward movement here on your financial job journey. And then this other thing came up, was a compass, and you're running a different direction. So maybe you may have to change directions, or you just stay the course, because it doesn't really say either way. But you also do have to remember that there are things going on that are completely beyond our control. Because when we look at there are a lot of things economically that are completely beyond our control. This, you and I, we did not have a say for the United States to go to war, but this war has affected the whole damn world because of the rising costs of energy and so forth. And these things, and so that is the part of it that's completely beyond your control. The price of gasoline, the price of fuel, the price of food, any rising prices. So those are just things you're just going to have to deal with, and that just may be short-term pain, but for how long, we don't know. And so that's kind of the way I look at it. And in that sense, with those issues, we are locked in place on a journey. It's not just you, it's all of us. We're locked in this journey, and we are moving towards some end. And you are moving towards some end. And so will your finances get better? It just, as this one says, whatever issues you have going on, they're short term. And that's what I got here with that.
Okay. So let me share what I have. Well, first of all, well, I'll share what I have and then I open it up to see if she has any questions. So I am using a very cool deck and it's called So Below. And this deck is actually part of a group of decks. And the first one is As Above, and then this one is So Below. So I kind of like this one because this deck shows just us in our regular day to day lives doing day to day things. So the first card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. And I really love this because to me, I feel like this is you. Like you have this desire to, I think you're happy where you are and you have a desire to remain. You have a desire to be able to kind of pick your harvest and be able to stay in there is what I'm getting with this card. But then the next card that comes up is actually the Wheel of Fortune. So we have change. Okay. So Major Arcana card here with the wheel. So to me, like when I think about your question about staying in the rental, like it seems like you do want to stay there, but there is going to be a change. And then the other card that comes out to wrap up that reading is the Queen of Swords. And you can see in this deck, the Queen of Swords is not scary. She's not cold-blooded and harsh and all the things. You know, this young lady is sitting there and, you know, she's getting great advice. She seems happy. She seems smiling. So to me, I feel like perhaps things will change and you may have to make changes to your plan. I do see her, you know, she's holding that like that letter in her hands. I do see her kind of like making notes and making plans, and there could be changes, but I feel like these changes could actually work out in your favor. Okay. And then I pulled a card for you, you know, like an oracle card to kind of wrap up the whole thing. And we have the squirrel card. And of course, when I think of squirrels, I always think of, you know, how good they are at like saving for more difficult times of the year, right? And they kind of chuck things away and they're hard at work doing all the things and putting things away for, you know, kind of like that idea of like for a rainy day. The message on this card is spiritual maintenance. Be your own caretaker. And I love that message. Be your own caretaker. So you have the squirrel. I'm going to read to you from the book here. The squirrel is the caretaker of the forest, a messenger, very organized and prepared, perhaps sometimes too much, but he has a good grasp of fun as much as he is known for his forward planning and burrowing away nuts for the winter months of which he does not have or not find food. And to me, what that is kind of going towards is like, enjoy the time that you have right now. We don't know how long it's going to last, but in the event that it lasts, you want to walk away feeling like you got what you needed from the situation. Mm-hmm. Brittany, I'm so sorry. I got you. Here, let me star you. I got you, Brittany. Hold on. Just hold on right there. So that is the message that I'm getting for.
And it just crossed over 444 right here where I'm at. And so we're just going to throw into that mix there, Judith, angel number 444. And so if we're looking at, you're working on your foundations and building your foundations in order to build your stability in this moment. And that kind of looks like you're moving in a direction, locked in place, you're going somewhere, and then there's that sense of these short-term difficulties, because eventually you will have a reprieve from whatever it is that you're experiencing. And so would you be changing your jobs here? It's probably not such a wise thing to do, to change jobs, unless of course there's like some dynamite thing to something that's like, you know, or, you know, you win the lottery or something. Like, even if you win the lottery, don't change, you know, stay on your job for a year and then think about quitting. But depending on how much money you win. But anyways.
Aw. Hopefully that was helpful, Judith. Thank you for letting us read.
Yeah.
And Brittany, thank you for reminding me, dear. Put your question in the chat, please. Let me know what your question is, Brittany. I really like how this deck reads, Bill.
Yeah. Well, you know, I bought some things too. Yeah, I bought a new mic stand with a shock mount on it.
Ooh, nice.
But I have to declutter this space and make some space so I can actually use it. So yeah. You know, equipment is not exactly fun stuff. You know, a new deck is fun stuff, and
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here we have, what do I need to know for my highest good?
Okay.
For my highest good. Okay, so I'm gonna switch my
what
deck.
Sorry.
And let me take advantage of this beautiful season that we're in, Brittany, and I'm gonna use my Mermaid Tarot for this question. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for letting us read. All right.
Okay. All right. What does you need to know? I need another note card. Need some notes. What does Brittany need to know for her own good? All right. So, does Brittany need to? Okay, we're gonna shuffle there and do one interesting.
I feel like the cards are just coming right out of the deck for you, Brittany.
King of Wands. Energy. I'm gonna say personal sovereignty. Sovereignty. Sovereignty and divine connection. So that's what I see with that. Okay, well, it's been.
Yeah, there's a lot of feedback with that mic.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna turn the gain down then.
The what? All right. Bill, did you want to go first or did you want me to?
You can go first.
Okay. All right. So let me do that. Okay. All right, Brittany. So I pulled a message from the Major Arcana deck first, which is, just the majors. And the card that came out, this is from my Frida Kahlo deck, is the Lovers. And a lot of people automatically jump to the idea that the Lovers is about relationships and about love. And of course, it can be. But I think it's also a little bit bigger or deeper than that. It's also about choices, the choices that we make. And so this card says, remember the value of connection and communication. A new partnership could be in your future. So that I'm using that to be like the premise of the reading, this idea of, and I don't know, you know, I don't know if you're in a relationship, if this could be romantic, if this could be friendship, if this could be familial, if it could be work, like it could be anything. So I would just ask you to just kind of like open up and receive the message. Okay, so you are married. So um, in the event, and for me, my greatest hope is that couples, because it's not easy to be in a relationship, and so it is always my greatest hope that our couples are connected and understanding each other and working together as a team, right, to get things done. But in the event that that is not you, in the event that you're struggling, in the event that things could be better, right, in terms of communication or in terms of having that connection with your partner. What I'm seeing here, the first card is right here. It's the Five of Pentacles. And usually this is the card of feeling kind of like you're left out. So that's why I'm kind of leaning into like there could be something that is, emotionally lacking in your current connections that's making you feel like perhaps you might be on the outside, right? And there's always blessings around us, but sometimes we're so like in our own way, in our feelings, in our situation, that it makes it difficult for us to see the bigger picture. And you can see here, we have this figure right here, and they're obviously not having a good time. They're under the tree, they're upset, and they're just having a moment to be emotional with themselves. And you have this figure, right, this mermaid coming out of the water and making an offering, but they don't recognize that that's what's happening here because they're in their own space. And that is the big message behind this card, that sometimes when we let our situations or our problems take over, what that does is it limits us from being able to see the bigger picture and to see the other blessings that are in the plans for us. And the other card that we got is right here, and it's the Moon card. And so the moon is asking you to do a little bit of reflection, some introspection, and maybe sit with what is it that is working and not working for you, and what can you do differently? You know, are there choices that you could maybe change, right? Are there things that you could do differently in order to improve? You know, we don't know that until we sit. In this particular card, you know, what you have here is the mermaid and the song of the siren, right? The song of the siren. And she's putting out her call. It's kind of asking you to take a closer look and also to look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture here. Now I pulled a card for you from the Oracle deck, and it's ironic because this is the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck, and so of course it is a deck of animals, but there are some mythical creatures in this deck, and the one that I pulled for you is actually the phoenix. And you know, the phoenix is usually connected with change and transformation and rising from the ashes, right? So again, I'm getting like this really strong message that, you know, perhaps there have been some challenges around you or surrounding you that have perhaps made you feel like you were kind of dealing with things on your own without having ally or support. But the moon card is asking you to take a closer look. You have the phoenix card here. I'm going to read to you from the bottom. The key word on this card, by the way, is empower. And I love that word so much because I think oftentimes we don't realize that we have the power to make the changes that we need. Like everything that we need is within us. And here it says, fire activations bring creative and spiritual freedom. Okay. So again, I feel like this is much bigger than just like a relationship challenge. It could be a lot of different things, but I feel like I'm putting it right here under the lovers card with that card of empowerment. I feel like maybe there's this fire that is burning from deep down within that is causing you to take this like a closer look at your choices, at your relationships, at your connections on all levels, right? On all levels. And maybe look at those parts that you're feeling less than satisfied with and see if there is something else that you could be doing. So I'm going to read to you from the book, and it says right here, the phoenix rises from the flames in a powerful activation of your sacral and solar plexus chakra. And if you're not familiar with the chakras, right, the sacral is like your sexual chakra. It's located just after the root chakra, and then your solar plexus is just above your belly button. That is the seat of your personal power. Okay, that those chakras, when those chakras are blocked, it blocks the flow of your energy or your chi up and down your body. So this here, this phoenix, is like when you hear that expression, or light a fire under it, light a fire under it to kind of get things going. That's kind of like the message that is coming through in this particular reading. Okay. So it says here, the energy is being recycled within you, being transmuted to something powerful, a surge of fire that will help your focus and accelerate on your path. Courage, strength, and passion are felt with the phoenix. His energy is empowering you to shine the brightest that you can. Take these fire activations and feel them in your belly. Fan the flames and bring them up to your heart to let them settle and instill sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing here. Instill that warm glow to lead and empower yourself and others where you and they need to be. So basically that fire needs to come up into your heart space is what it's saying. You want that fire to kindle and burn and just like come right into your heart, and open everything up, basically. That's kind of the message that I'm getting with this reading. I feel like it can go deeper, but I want to be like mindful of what we share in this space or in this platform. So I'm going to pass that over to Bill and see what he wants to add there.
All right, so I decided to use a deck that didn't have words on it, and I went into my minor arcana deck, which is what I call, it's actually a sense of regular playing cards. And so the first card I drew up, and this is some Catholic saint cards, was essentially the Three of Wands with this Saint Catherine of Siena on it. And Catherine of Siena is a Catholic doctor and an activist, and so in a mystic, a visionary. So I got a sense of a need to look within, because this sense of mystic has come up more than once with these saint cards. Of looking within. And so if we look at, let's say we look at the Three of Wands, Three of Clubs, I'm just following that system of interpretation here. Three of Clubs, Three of Wands, and if you look at that image of looking out over the bay, and you have your plan, and you have cast your seeds out into the sea, and you're seeing, well, when's my ship going to come in? And you're sort of there waiting, you're gathering that all together, and with this Catherine of Siena being in a activist mindset, being you want to take action in your life. You want to be an active participant. For what is your highest good is to be an active participant in your life and not be a passive participant. You're being active and not reactionary. Then we come up to the next card, which is I like these because you can do reversals here, whereas regular playing cards you cannot do reversals. So with this, it gives an added complexity here, and so this is your Four of Cups, and if you're looking at your Four of Cups, you're looking at any sense of, I guess I'm going to go with my first impressions of being in a place of withdrawing from yourself. That may not be quite the right sentiment, but that's kind of a sense of withdrawal, or but then these two saints of Saint Francisco and Juanita, they were present at Fatima. They saw the mysteries of Fatima. And so in this sense, though it's in a reversal sense, it would be meaning that you need to trust your inner eyes. You can't just not trust things. In this sense, trust your inner eyes, but here you are, you're not trusting your inner eyes. You have this sense of the mysticness of your life and the experiencing of God in your life. You are experiencing God in your life, but it feels kind of blocked. It's blocked. And that's what I'm there. And then we go over to this other one, the Three of Swords in reverse. And so you're looking at, there is some emotional healing, but we're looking at Thomas Aquinas. And what is Thomas Aquinas known for? He was known for writing about God and about spirituality in logical means and rationality and reason. But when we have this in upside down, it's maybe suggesting that you're not rational and you're not logical about what is happening to you. So to me, I just said that you need to spend some time really when things happen to you and you have a reaction, you have an emotional reaction, to really think hard about that. Is your action towards, let's say, with your husband, and a failure to do something? He's supposed to take out the trash, but he doesn't take out the trash, and instead you jump down his throat or whatever. You do whatever you do. I don't know if you do that or not, but it's some kind of a over the top reaction. Is that over the top reaction actually justified? If you are and then the final card here is like a King of Wands, but it's also Christ the King. And so if you look at what does Christ the King mean, as far as like, I'm not prophesying to you, but we're just kind of just thinking of this image as completely metaphorical. Your Christ consciousness, your God within, and accessing that God within you. And that God within you is present. It is there. And a reminder that God within you is there. Your angels, your whatever, your guides, they're there always to be there with you. And so you have that, go back here, this mystery, the mystic, the experiential aspect of your relationship. And so maybe let's say we just look at your ordinary life, and we go through our life, and sometimes we're on autopilot and we're not experiencing what's going on. We're just letting it kind of go around. We're not really thinking in terms of what did that mean, or you're just watching TV and it's just happening to you, but being an active participant in your life. And then I'm flipping this card over, that you are looking with your inner eyes and needing to see what is present in your life. Because sometimes it's very difficult to see what is in our lives, but to spend time to pause before you make a decision and to see what does it actually mean? What does this actually mean? So for your highest good, to be more rational with how you react to people around you. And so if you are fighting or whatever, and maybe you're fighting with your husband, and it's like, well, is it a good idea to bring up that thing that he told you about, like at the beginning of your relationship, and you keep bringing that back up, or he's bringing that back, he's bringing crap up, and you don't like it? Well, because that stuff happens, and to really think rationally about that, and does he really mean it? He doesn't really mean it, because you're married to him, he's married to you, he loves you, and though in the heat of that moment, you are caught up in that experience, and the experience is happening to you rather than you experiencing that in that moment. And above all, you have this Christ the King, this governor that is within you, that can guide your life with rationality, with compassion, and with empathy. And so that's what I got. But if I just do one other thing here. Seven and 16. So if we were looking at some other major arcana tarot cards, I would be looking at 7, a 7. So that would be like the Chariot card, and so that's a sense of barreling forward. You're going forward in forward momentum, but then there's also, and you're not. And I see that, I see it both ways. So it's like it is, you are going forward, but you're not going forward. And that's kind of what I got from this message. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, Brittany certainly let us know.
I haven't read with this deck for close to a year, but I need to read with it more.
So she says that explain what has been happening. Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, you have to get to your next thing.
I like to take like a break in between, you know, freshen up and, you know, recharge before I go back a little later. So yeah, thank you for coming in and hanging out for a while.
Yeah, I really appreciate this. You know, it's like, you know, when I first started reading, I read on your channel a little bit, and that was before I started reading on Tools of Fortune, and you know, because I've only been reading the shade over a year. You know, I'm still a new reader, but I feel like I'm getting somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Karen says she likes how you read, so not holding back on the details. Yeah, find your channel. Yeah, for sure. Find his channel. Bill, you dropped your links in the
I can do that. Let me just see. Drop a link. Let me go get that.
Yes.
Tools of Fortune.
And for everybody that's been like watching and hanging out with us, thank you so much for
I generally do. Yeah, I generally do readings on Sunday afternoon, and then I do other ones too, pop-ups. But I'm not sick that often, but sometimes I am.
I think the best thing is to hit the notifications so that you're always alerted when your favorite people go live.
Now, my hyperlink didn't show up, but you can look at, because I'm not one of your peoples here. I am one of your peoples with
the Tools of Fortune.
Yeah, but if I switch it over to the 999 show, which is one of my other channels.
But I don't see your comment, period, Bill. I don't see your comment at all. Not with Tools of Fortune. No.
No, because it just doesn't show up there. Let's go over here, and it should still be. Let's see if I can find the More Intuitive Me. It's here someplace.
Yeah, and if not, I'll tag it later into the description box. Thank you so much, Karen. That is so sweet. Fridays are my favorite. You know that. I like to come and hang out and do all the things. All right. Well, we're gonna run, Bill. We can add.
Let's see. Now it works. It's down there at the bottom because I I switched channels because I'm logging in on two different devices at the same time.
Okay, I see. All right.
So Tools
of Fortune. So yes, the link is right there, Karen. You can find it.
Yeah, and then my 999 show is just a random content thing. You know, it's hard to commit to a niche, but I committed to a niche with Tools of Fortune, but with the other one I did not. I did not.
All right, friends. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth.
All righty. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.